Hey everyone, this is Justin here. Just finished up working for the week. Today is Friday and I had a really busy week, and so I'm about to walk back home and I just wanted to record a quick video here. Don't really have an outline for this, I'm just gonna do it all off the cuff. So let's go. I'm gonna start walking home. Okay, so in this video I want to talk about an important topic because about 3 years ago, sorry, just letting all these noisy cars pass by. So right now I'm in Guadalajara. I've been living here for, well, almost all of 2019. I'm gonna be leaving in about 3 weeks. That's gonna be bittersweet, but this has been a good home for the first half of this year, that's for sure. So anyways, about 3 years ago, I actually dropped out of university, and I wasn't just going to any university. I was actually at the Cockrell School of Engineering in UT Austin, and the Cockrell School of Engineering is actually one of the best engineering schools in all of the US, and it's fairly difficult to get in. I believe the average ACT score is like 30 or 31, something like that. So that gives you an idea of the brainiacs that are in that program there. And I was about 2 years in studying civil engineering, and I just absolutely hated my life. It was terrible. I wasn't enjoying what I was studying, and I just had this epiphany one day. I thought to myself, if I can start my own online business and make at least $1,000 per month online, then I can live really, really well in many countries around the world. And I just want to show you this really cool like yellow house over here to my left. So I'm gonna pan the camera around. I guess I'll walk over there so you can get a better look. I'm just gonna go for it. Avoiding cars and traffic can be a bit tricky here in Mexico at times. But yeah, I really, really like this house here. It's very classic Mexican style. And so yeah, I was looking at the long term. It's like, okay, if I, continue drudging through this program the next 2 to 3 years, however long it takes me, where am I gonna be with my life? Probably I'm gonna be in Houston or Dallas working some big corporate job, and I'm gonna be stuck there for like 50 weeks out of the year. There's another really nice building here. I guess this is like a mansion. As you can tell, I am certainly in a richer part of Guadalajara at the moment, and that guy's probably like, why are you videotaping my house? But whatever. So yeah, I realized that I'm gonna be stuck in a place like Dallas or Houston for 50 weeks out of the year, and it just didn't sound appealing to me. And when I had this epiphany about starting an online business, taking advantage of the fact that I can earn a first world wage and live in a third world country, it just seemed like a much better option to me. And so about 3 years ago, I actually dropped out of school. I dropped out of the University of Texas at Austin. And of course, all of my friends and my family, they thought I was pretty crazy for doing that. I thought I was pretty crazy, and sure, it was a really big risk for sure. But considering all that's happened after those 3 years, I really have absolutely no regrets. I think it was one of the best decisions of my life. The reason I want to make this video is because I feel like a lot of people, they say that if you don't go to college, then you can't be successful, or it's going to be a lot harder to be successful. And for me, I feel like it was really the opposite. I feel like if I had stayed in school, racked up about 40K in debt, I feel like it would have been much harder for me to be successful. And of course, I've got to unpack what I mean by successful. For me, success is not just about money, it's also about happiness, your general quality of life. Yeah, I'm not really talking that much as I walk past strangers on the street. People think that you're pretty weird for vlogging to begin with, but if you're vlogging in English, then you're even weirder, I guess. And right here on the right, we've got Cerveceria Chapultepec, where you can get like beers for like $1. It's always very popular. Today is Friday night. So, yeah, for those of you that don't know my story, in short, I dropped out of university. I started studying web development. I did web development for a few months, and then I transitioned to Google Ads work, and I've been doing Google Ads work ever since then. So I've been doing Google Ads work for over 2 years now, and things are really going well. Especially recently. My business has been growing like crazy. Like these past 2 weeks have been super busy. The best 2 weeks of the year so far. So at the moment, I've got no debt, and almost all of my clients are in the US, paying me US wages. Meanwhile, I'm living here in Guadalajara or other cheap locations around the world and saving up money. And it's really not a big sacrifice to be living in a place like Guadalajara. Like, there's a lot of very interesting places in the developing world. So here's my point of view. The economy is changing significantly, and I think I heard some study about how, you know, we don't even know what like half of the jobs will be like 10 years from now or 20 years from now. A lot of them are going to be brand new due to new technology, so on and so forth. For me, it doesn't really make a lot of sense to, you know, go spend, say, 4 years on education, and then after that you say, oh yeah, I'm done with education. You know, 4 years of higher education. The thing is, we need to be constantly, you know, reskilling, you know, updating our skill sets for new demand. And for me, like with the advent of the internet, I'm actually about to pass the US consulate, and they have a very strict rule about no filming there, so I might actually have to take a detour here. I'm gonna go to the left instead of keep going straight. Definitely don't want you to see this US consulate here. So I'll be very careful with my camera. Cross the street. And the thing is, there are so many great free resources on the internet now, and there are so many great jobs out there where you really don't have to go to school. You don't have to go to university. Just start getting jobs. Like, for instance, oh yeah, one thing that's interesting about living here in Mexico, I've been here in Mexico on and off for over a year now, and that's more or less allowed me to become bilingual. Of course, my Spanish is not perfect. There's a lot of room for improvement for sure, but that's just another very practical skill set that I've developed by spending a lot of time here. We got McDonald's over there. It's like I never even left my own country. So yeah, if you want to become a doctor or an engineer or something like that, then yeah, I mean, you don't really have a choice. You have to go through university to get certified to do something like that. But the thing is, there's a lot of great high-paying jobs that don't require a degree, like whether it be in digital marketing or whether it be web development or graphic design or whatever. Also, SEO is really big as well. And you can learn all these things online on your own. And yeah, the thing is, these are, you know, up and coming jobs. There's a lot of growth in these fields. And the thing is, the industry is changing so rapidly. Industry is changing so rapidly that you really, like a traditional education model just does not work for it at all, because what you learn in year one is probably going to be outdated by year 4. You know, beyond like the basics that don't really change. But there's just so many updates, like doing Google Ads work. There's like new features every few weeks, and you just can't really go to school to learn something like Google Ads. I mean, you can go and learn the basics, but you can also learn the basics online at a much lower cost, if not for free. And so, you know, if college is paid for by tax dollars like it is in many European countries, you know, that's one thing. And in that case, you know, in terms of college, sure, you're spending a lot of time there, but you're not spending a lot of money. In the US, you're spending a lot of money and a lot of time. And in that case, is it really worth it? It's definitely way more worth it in, say, a European country where you're not going to go into massive debt. In my opinion, in the US, unless you are absolutely sure, and let's keep it real, when you're 18, 19, most people don't really know what they want to do for sure. But if you do happen to know for sure you want to be a doctor or an engineer when you're 18 or 19 years old, well, yeah, you would need to go to school for that. But I feel like for a lot of the jobs, especially the up-and-coming new jobs in digital marketing, web development, programming, it's just absolutely not necessary to go spend, you know, $80K on a degree. You're much better off just using the internet and learning these things on your own. Another thing that I noticed is that it seems like increasingly we're moving more and more towards a gig economy. It's not like the olden days where you have like one job and then you're good for life. No, now you need like 50 jobs per year, like 50 small jobs, freelancing jobs. So yeah, there's a lot to unpack with this topic, and I could go on, but these are just my reflections after dropping out 3 years ago. Right now I have no debt. I'm earning very good money considering the cost of living of where I am and where I normally am. Last year I have a lot of flexibility. It's not like 50 weeks trapped in one city, 2 weeks of vacation per year, which is the average for a normal American job. No, last year I actually traveled around the world. I traveled around the world for over 11 months and I was working the entire time. And for me, if I stuck to the traditional path, I gotta show you this sign here, this graffiti. It says in Spanish that Christ hates you, and then somebody says, no, Christ loves you, and then somebody says, no, it's not true, Christ doesn't exist. So that's interesting. Nice little graffiti debate going on there. This is a nice building here. As you can see, Mexico is not all poverty. It's like the 12th largest economy in the world. And here in Guadalajara, there's a lot of wealth actually. It's a lot of wealth. And of course, there's a lot of poverty as well. Every city has its good neighborhoods and bad neighborhoods. But yeah, I guess to wrap this video up, I would just want to say that you really don't have to go to university to be successful. And I feel like the people that haven't gone to university and have become successful, I feel like we need to be more vocal about that. And I want to point out that, you know, college is only getting more expensive in the US. Like year by year, like the case for college is getting weaker and weaker because you're spending more money. And yeah, I don't want this video to drag on too long, but hopefully you've found it interesting, you found it informative. I think that's all that I have to say at the moment. If I think of other things later on, then I'll just start recording again. But, well, until later, hasta luego.